talking about how tough it was to watch the bathtub scene, the shower scene with the little boy. And Mr. Pepper, I wonder if you could comment on what it was like to shoot that scene.
It was really, really tough. I mean, I've talked to a lot of filmmakers that have used, really brutal techniques to get children to cry. And I remember talking to Captain Dale Dye, who trained us for Saving Private Ryan. He was a co-author and the military coordinator of Platoon. And they would just fire like an M16 machine gun over top of these, Vietnamese women and children, and they just burst into tears. And that's sort of how they made films like that in the 70s and 80s. I mean, there wasn't a lot of rules, I guess, with these type of things, real guerrilla-style filmmaking. But John Gunn, the director of this film, he was very, very sensitive to working with this brilliant young actor, Maxwell Perry Cotton. And Maxwell's just like a born, gifted performer. He just was able to find it within himself, and you can't hold his arms too tight, or you really are going to hurt him. And the shower's got to be warm, or else he's going to shiver and get cold, and you're not going to be able to film for very long. And then, of course, there's laws about how long a child can act on set. And so it is really just about getting comfortable with one another. And him and I were best buddies. We had an amazing time together, always playing cowboys and Indians and running around and being goofy, and we just hit it off. And so he really trusted me, and we just sort of lit it up. It was actually really enjoyable. But it's amazing when you watch it. To see how sort of terrified and upset he looks. But yeah, that's movie making.
Anyone else? Yeah, out the back.
Is any of this movie based on a true story?
No, not that I know of. Karen Kingsbury is the author of the book of the same title. She's incredibly well-read author. I don't know the statistics of her book sales, but she's just a huge Christian book author. And I never did ask her that question, whether this was based on any relationship in her life. I don't know where it came from.
What about the Haiti connection? What's like, that was kind of messed up as far as my impression of it. That's just a bizarre coincidence.
It really is bizarre because it was shot in the Dominican, I believe. Is that right? Yeah? Yeah. I wasn't a part of that, but yeah, that is very, very sad, very sad coincidence.
Yes?
One more question, sorry.
One more question.
Barry, you said you were, I think at the beginning, you were happy to bring the film here for us to see. Can you tell me more about what other film festivals it's been to, or what the distribution has been thus far, or what the future distribution is?
Yeah, it's been actually, this is sort of the tail end of its film festival circuit. It's, I think, been to something like 20 film festivals around the world, and won most every one has been involved in. Either Mira's won Best Actress, or I've won Best Actor, or the picture's won Best Picture, or audience's favorite. Honestly, this was a completely last-minute entry. I didn't even know that you guys would have to be doing these ballot things, so no pressure. I just brought it because I love the festival, and I just thought, okay, what could I bring? I just finished a film with Kevin Spacey and one with Winona Ryder, and I thought, well, I can't bring those because they're brand new and they're actively, editing right now. And so, what could I bring? And I'm so proud of Dandelion Dust because, like I said, it was very difficult to make on a very low budget, very, very condensed schedule. And I thought, this would be perfect. Maybe have an opportunity to talk about it a little bit. But right now, I wasn't involved as a producer, so when I'm finished, I'm pretty much finished, and sort of just hoping and praying it finds distribution. But I really don't know where it's at. I'm sure you could go to dandeliondust.com and find out about it as much as I know about it. But I know that the Downs brothers, who were the producers of the film, are actively seeking distribution. So hopefully it'll be in a theater near you one day. Cool. All right, you're allowed to ask another question if you like. If not,
If he says it's okay, it's okay.
When was it made, Barry?
I guess it's almost 2 years ago now. It usually takes a year of turnaround, and then they decided to take it through the film festival circuit, and that they spent about a year doing that as well. So, yeah. So and it did really well. I mean, it's won something like 20 gold laureates, but that doesn't guarantee you anything. So it's difficult. I mean, it's a tricky climate to make an independent film in these days. The studios are pretty much eliminating all risk from filmmaking. I mean, they just don't take risk anymore. Not like in the 70s, which would have been arguably the most creative and riskiest time in filmmaking, where filmmakers were really given a lot of freedom and to risk. And studios and mainstream film are just not doing that anymore. And it's really hard to find financing, and they are pretty much just going sort of with impressive filmmaking as opposed to little expressive films like this.